house to clean? Jesus.
Are we doing it right now?
Yeah, we're going.
You can't clean a house if they're in a cage.
Oh, let's start.
Why do you have a keyboard? Just keep rolling. Welcome to Split Decision. Welcome to Split Decision. Most prepared podcast on the internet.
3, 2.
Oh, there's a countdown. Hey, people and stuff.
All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for Split Decision, your weekly MMA podcast brought to you from the Ruloff Family Inc. studios. Bueller and Dodge ready to break down the news in the world of MMA. Of course, your fight cards as well that have happened and are going to happen and all that good stuff as well. Brought to you by StrongBoardBalance.com. Change the way you work out. Get on board, StrongBoardBalance.com. Check them out on Instagram. You can try and win yourself one. Of course, our trusty buddy over here, Dennis, is doing the workout of the week. What is it this week?
It's the same thing, the Tabati death workout. They haven't sent me nothing new. I think it's a personal joke at me. You know, it's that Tabati planking, same thing.
Tabati planking?
Yeah. Where I, like I said, I do the mountain climber, pick up the board, bench it, squat it, mountain climber.
They were trying to find the one that you complain the most about to make you stick with that one.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Joke's on them.
They just keep listening.
I think it's going to help my wakeboarding.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. So Strong Board Balance, perfect for wakeboarding.
Perfect for wakeboarding.
And for getting you in shape as well. And, of course, our second home, mymmanews.com. For breaking news, we do this once a week. They do it all the time. So if you want to keep up with the sport, mymmanews.com is the way to go.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's working right, but I've lost 2 belt sizes, but I'm gaining weight. Does that seem right?
It's muscle. Yeah, you're
Muscle.
good.
Okay.
You've lost 2 belt sizes?
Lost 2 belt sizes,
Dang.
but I've gained almost 5 pounds.
I've gained 2 belts. In the same period of time.
All right.
So big thanks to everybody who listens. Tell your friends to find us on Facebook at Split Decision MMA Podcast. Give us a like on Twitter and Instagram, SD_MMA. And, of course, anywhere podcasts are broadcast, including iHeartRadio and our website, SplitDecisionMMA.com.
You did the thing.
Did the thing.
When he does that line, I get a little tingle.
You did the thing.
And there's a real easy one, too, mymmmapodcast.com.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That doesn't rhyme.
Perfect.
No,
So we got some stuff to look forward to. Do we have a card this weekend?
No.
No card this weekend, but we had a card last weekend.
We did.
We did have a card last weekend. And some sad news in the mixed martial arts world this week. Kimbo Slice has passed away. He was apparently waiting for a heart transplant, was told within days of his death that he needed one.
How is he scheduled to fight at Bellator against James Thompson if he has a heart transplant coming up?
Good question. Good question.
Anybody?
Little insane.
No, I don't have an explanation for that at all. I know because Kimbo Slice was scheduled, but Kevin Ferguson was not.
Oh.
Yeah, it was they were doing a health check on Kimbo Slice.
Gotcha.
And that paperwork stopped here. But if they would have gone to Kevin Ferguson, they would have found the other paperwork.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory.
Must be it. Sad news, though, man. The guy was only 42 years old.
6 kids.
6 kids.
All named Kevin.
Shut up.
Yeah.
He did the George Foreman thing?
Oh, he did the Foreman thing. It was like Kevin, Kavina, Kevlar, Kevin Jr., like all kinds of stuff.
Kevlar?
Yeah, Kevlar was one of his kids.
That's kind of awesome.
One of his kids fights MMA. I think it's Kevlar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is the video making...
You need to scoot over a little, Brandon.
That's weird.
Are you watching live, Dennis?
Yeah, I'm watching. Live.
It's like podcast Inception when you do
There you
that.
go.
That's really
Yeah,
awesome.
it's weird. I'm staring into my own soul.
Yeah, that's awesome, Brandon.
So if you want, I think that we can save this video and you can go back and watch it later. If listening to the podcast isn't your thing, you can see our beautiful faces
That shouldn't be your thing.
on the Facebook. I did say this week, and as tragic as this is, I would say the good thing that came out of this, especially with 6 children,
Yep.
is that thankfully Kevin was able to get discovered and noticed in the world of MMA and go and do these fights to earn the fame and notoriety that he did. And so hopefully with that, at least his kids will be taken care of.
Yeah, one of his kids fights MMA.
Yeah, you said Kevlar, right?
I think it's Kevlar.
Yeah.
I figured this out.
Is he bulletproof?
No, I don't believe so.
You don't believe so?
Don't believe so.
Yeah, well, all right. Just asking.
But there's rumors that his son may fill in for him against James Thompson.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Right?
I mean, especially, do we know anything about his record? Do we know anything at all?
No, let's see if I can figure that out. Let's see.
Is it Kevlar Ferguson? Or is it Kevlar Slice?
I don't know.
All right, well, we'll get back to you with that
Kevin
news.
Ferguson Jr.
Kevin Ferguson Jr.
Kevin Ferguson Jr.
Rumors are he's going to step in against Josh Thompson. Josh Thompson? No.
No.
What? Who?
The big guy. James Thompson.
I quit. All right. So, but in all seriousness, we like to joke around on the show, but it's very sad news. And
It's horrible.
yeah, well,
AKA Baby Slice.
Baby Slice. So hopefully, the family can find closure and
You want to know.
he's 1-0.
Want to know.
What's he fight at? What weight does he fight at?
Uh,
We don't do our research at all.
None. Welterweight. 171 pounds.
He can't fight James Thompson. Never mind. Forget that rumor. It's not going to happen. That's not how
It's
it works.
possible they may fill in the slot, though, with him.
With him fighting somebody else? Okay, but he's not gonna
because
fight
Josh
James.
Koscheck's not going to fight Paul Daly now on that same card.
Okay.
Josh Koscheck has to pull out again.
Well, I don't want to see Paul Daly fight a guy who's 1-0.
He'll murder him.
Yeah, I don't want to see that happen. That's not fair. Put him in there against the Green Ranger.
Yes. Done.
That works for me.
Sold. Makes sense. Bellator. Big tent.
Also, other news: Vanderlei Silva came out this week and says that he has 12 out of 15 CTE signs.
Yeah. So he said he
Is that the news you want to hear from a guy who's trying to get back into fighting?
No.
He said all jokes aside,
No.
he said, I recently attended a lecture about concussion symptoms, and I have 12 out of 15.
But he hasn't been. He diagnosed himself, so he went to WebMD.
No, he went to a lecture.
We might as well have gone to WebMD and punched in some shit. That one time I had like a red mark on my hand. Next thing you know, I was dying.
Remember
Maybe
Vitor?
that's cancer.
Remember Vitor tested himself with Legos?
That's true. and a pool test kit. It was also a pool test
And a
kit.
pool test kit.
He was able to figure out that he was not on steroids with
So-
that pool test kit.
So and Jesus shoes. So Wand, does he want to fight again?
Yeah, he's trying to fight in Ryzen.
Then why would he?
And he wants it to be an open weight tournament. Where
So
gets
he can get. So he can get the other 3 symptoms.
where he can kick people in the head.
So he can
That's
give
what he
out the
wants.
other 3 symptoms.
That's
then?
what he wants.
You got to catch them all.
Got to catch them all. Yeah,
He's
I
trying to
guess.
play. He's trying to play bingo. Blackout.
So Joey, I'm going to read you the symptoms. Let's see if you've had a concussion.
Okay.
Fatigue,
Oh, I'm tired all the time.
headaches,
Every once in a while,
visual disturbances,
when I'm drunk,
memory loss,
after drinking.
poor attention or concentration.
All the time.
Every
What?
goddamn time.
What are we talking about?
Sleep disturbances,
I have kids.
dizziness and loss of balance,
Yes, absolutely.
irritability and emotional
you, man.
disturbances, feelings of depression,
All the time.
seizures.
No.
Oh, we're good.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Nausea,
Not even in the sack.
Okay, maybe.
All right.
Not. Yeah, I threw up on Saturday.
loss of smell,
Have you ever smelled me? Obviously, I can't smell anything if I smell the way I smell right now.
sensitive to light or sound,
Kind of bright in here and loud.
mood changes,
Now I'm sad.
getting lost or confused,
Where are we again? We at my house?
slowness in thinking.
Huh?
No.
I disagree. So I think the only one you don't have is seizures.
Well, Dennis just diagnosed me with seizures, so I don't know.
Just saying.
So I beat Wand?
Yeah.
I got a higher score than Wand.
You got a higher score than one.
Perfect.
So you
All
could
right.
beat him in something.
Really, though, in all seriousness, CTE is a very serious business.
No, it is.
And I feel like you need to get checked.
I should go get checked. I can't even look at this screen over here because I'm afraid people are saying mean things.
It's just Dennis.
I'm afraid Dennis is saying mean things. What else
Ronda
is going on, man?
Rousey.
Ronda Rousey?
Yep. Just been reported that she is the third highest paid female athlete in the world.
Interesting. What does that include? They can't just include her sports payouts, I'm assuming. It's got to include her sponsors. It's got to include her
This is according to Forbes.
media fees and
This is including her total earnings, her person bonuses, and her endorsements.
it's. I guess. I mean, good for her. I'm just surprised.
Last year she was number 8.
I'm surprised. Who's number 1 and 2? Do you know?
Serena Williams and Maria
Maria
Sharapova.
Sharapova. I was like,
Yep.
there's not tennis stars that are ranked higher than that.
Two,
There are
that's
2
it.
tennis stars. Not golfers though.
Nope.
Does the LPGA not pay like
Probably not.
$1 billion checks? No. All right. Well, good for Ronda. Rock and roll.
Do you think she's going to come back to keep that money?
No, I don't. She's going to drop down to like the 13th highest paid female athlete in the world next year.
All right. Anthony Pettis, Showtime decided since he is on a 3-fight losing streak, he is now going to drop down to 145 pounds.
But you got to do something.
How do you feel he'll fare there?
I hope he does
From
well.
155 down to 145. He's a small guy.
He's
to
a
begin
small
with.
guy to begin with. Yeah, I think they'll do
Right.
just
Think
fine.
he'll be a little more explosive, a little more Showtime.
I hope
More
so.
spinning shit.
We need more showtime. It
More
seems like,
spinning shit.
is that the same way that his brother fights at though?
You know, I don't know.
Again, we do research.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out right now.
But I mean, at this time with weight cut and no IVs, I mean, isn't he going the wrong way?
I don't know. Like Dodge said, he's a small guy anyway.
No, his brother fights at bantam
Oh, okay.
and flyweight.
So yeah. I mean, I think it's worth a shot for him because he's got to do something. 3 losses in a row from a guy who used to be the top of the charts. Something's got to change.
How do you see him faring against the featherweights that are down there? There's the top 15. Obviously, you got Conor McGregor's champ. You got Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar, number 1 and 2. Max Holloway, Mendez, Ricardo Lamas,
I think if he comes back, let's see how he could do against Cub Swanson. That's a good barometer.
Right there, right at 6. You're gonna jump all the way in the top 10.
I think Cub. Well, yeah, I mean he's Showtime Pettis. The guy's a former champ. I think that if he, sure he's on a 3-fight win streak. I think he has a good matchup with Cub Swanson. I think if he fares well against Cub Swanson, it'll be a great barometer as to how he can do in that division. Because personally, if Showtime Pettis got back to what he was before, I would love to see him up against someone like Edgar or Aldo at some point. You know what I mean? But if he goes down there and maybe Cub Swanson being ranked number 6 is too high to put him at, but at the same time, stylistically, I think that match up really well. So if he can fare well against him, then we could see potentially some really good fights in that division with him. If he goes down there and he just can't handle it, then
yeah, I mean, I like to see him against Dubronx, Charles over there, Jeremy Stevens. I think those are good fights as well. Cub Swanson, I think, is an awesome fight for him.
I mean, Jeremy Stevens had a great performance recently, and that would be a great one as well. Dennis Bermudez, the high intensity that fighter is, would make a good matchup as well. Anything above that, no.
Got to work his way.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Anything below that?
Oh, yeah.
Like anything 10 and under, no way. But yeah, coming in up against the number 9 guy, that's not senseless.
All right,
Kind of makes sense to me.
there we go. Brian Caraway is asking for a title shot.
No, Brian. No. No.
He says he thinks he's beating. Who do you
Does he beat Aljamain Sterling
Aljamain Sterling, who was undefeated.
on the main fight on a Fight Pass card? No.
That he should get a title shot up against Dominic Cruz. He is now ranked number 4
That's surprising. Good for him.
in the bantamweight division. Obviously, you got Dominic Cruz. We can talk about his fight coming up here, or that he just had, and then you have Assunção having his fight with TJ. So that kind of, to me, that's the title eliminator right there.
I agree with that.
Obviously, Faber's out of that now, and so I guess he's up there.
He's
Let's
up
see
there.
Brian Caraway fight Michael McDonald
That was what I was thinking. One was with Michael
or
McDonald.
Cody Garbrandt.
Cody Garbrandt or Michael McDonald would be great if Michael McDonald came back. But with TJ Dillashaw and Assunção fighting,
Yeah.
you can't just throw Caraway at the champ.
Right.
Like, over those two guys. You just can't do it. If he wants to fight Michael McDonald or Cody Garbrandt, that would be awesome.
I think that's what he should do first, and he should never get a title shot.
If they do give him a title shot and he actually wins, they should give him a belt identical to Misha's.
I'm pretty sure they're identical anyway. It's not like
They're all the same?
Yeah, it's not like a.
Though
Divas-
they should give him a Divas
It's
Championship
not like
belt.
a Divas Championship belt from WWE where it's got like the pink butterflies on it and shit like
They
that.
should make
Which
that.
actually they got rid of that belt.
Whatever, they should make
They actually
another
got a
one.
women's belt now. Good for WWE.
Why can't they have
Pushing
one?
the forefront.
Fuck that, man. I want pink butterflies. What if I want a pink butterfly
They're
belt?
wrestlers, sir. They're no longer divas.
Whatever. Just saying. Why can't I have my pink butterfly belt? That's bullshit.
We'll get you one. Don't worry.
Now I see this happening sometime in the future.
It's going to happen.
There's a Hello Kitty belt with your name on it.
No.
I
I'm
would
getting in the divas belt
be all over Hello Kitty belt
for
too.
sure. You're going to wear it every podcast.
Just make sure it's really fat.
I'll buy extra foam from like Michael's craft
Yeah.
store to like wrap all the way around.
Something.
Because I'm not buying you a real one. I'm buying you the kids one.
Yeah, well, of course. We'll get it out of the
The
husky
real
section.
one's like $300.
Yeah, no, just make sure you get out of the
This
fat
one's
kid
like
section.
$29.99 maybe.
Just put some elastic and a bungee cord around that motherfucker. Should
Done.
fit me.
Obviously, we talked about how Conor McGregor at one point was going for the lightweight belt, UFC 198, when he was unable to take that fight. He went up to welterweight and fought Nate Diaz. And, of course, when that was happening, fans were even talking about how he said he wanted to go up to welterweight and fight Robbie Lawler.
It would have died.
Robbie Lawler said on a recent interview, you know, he's lucky he wasn't standing across from me. He says, obviously, it was a big fight because if I hurt him, I wasn't taking his neck. He said, oh, what would you have taken? He says, his soul.
His soul.
I would have taken his soul.
He said it so coldly, too.
He looks really creepy, and the guy interviewing him looked like he was freaked the fuck out.
Yeah. Like, your days are numbered, Conor McGregor. Do not ever go to 185.
Ever again. Well, he is.
He pulled a Dread Pirate Roberts on him.
Oh, yeah. It was some scary shit. And then the rest of the news we have has to do with UFC 199. So you want to go into UFC 199?
Yeah, we'll go
and then we
into
can kind of pick up the stories as they go along that way?
That works for me. Marco Polo Reyes got a KO over Dong Hung Kim in the third round. Poor
You bet on the dong.
Hey, well, you know, you got to bet on the dong. But every once in a while, someone's going to beat the dong. and Marco Polo.
I love when
beat the
people
dong.
beat the dong.
Yeah, well, Marco loved beating the dong. Kevin Casey got a draw with Elvis.
A split draw.
A split draw with Elvis Mutapeak. Sure, that'll work. Forget. I didn't want to talk about Kevin Casey.
Which, by the way,
Is there news on Kevin Casey?
I mean, the news that I can tell you is like, let's go into that story. So he got kicked out of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym when he was a legit blue belt, I believe. And then says he feels like he's a black belt.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll never give me my black belt, and since I got kicked out of the gym, I feel like I'm a black belt, so
Right.
I'm a black belt.
And you know, in this society today, what we feel like is what we are.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a donut.
Later, with a pink belt, by the way. Both butterflies. Later, he said, or I guess one of the Gracies said that it was wrong what the gym did to him, that he should be able to get his belt, and he seems like a legit black belt.
Which is still dumb because you can't go from a blue to a black just because you feel like it. You just can't do that.
They wouldn't promote him, man. They wouldn't. Promote him.
So he promoted himself as a black belt and championed himself as a black belt until somebody actually did give him a black belt, which I still think is ridiculous. He never should have got one. Guy was managed by Spencer Pratt for a while. Really? Spencer Pratt? Was it Heidi and Spencer, right?
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw Kevin Casey fight, and I was booing the entire time, and watching Spencer Pratt walk him out to the cage. I was just like, this is not real. So he walks away with a split draw. I don't know what the future holds for that guy. Lewis.
Neither of them won. I mean,
Yeah, well,
it's not like the other guy walked away with a split draw too.
Yeah.
So,
the other guy, you can't even click on his name.
well, maybe it'll be clickable next time.
Maybe.
Next week it'll be clickable.
Luis Enrique de Silva up against Jonathan Wilson. Lewis gets the TKO in the second round. Sean Strickland gets a split decision over Tom Breeze. That's all on your Fight Pass. Just feel free to stop me when you got a story. Bruce Leroy Caceres gets a win over Cole Miller with a unanimous decision.
Cole Miller was supposed to fight BJ Penn
I know.
and
I
loses
called
to
it.
Bruce Leroy.
I called it.
He did call it.
I did.
Crazy.
How do you feel that fight went? I mean, obviously,
It looked bleak for a little bit.
to me, it looked like Cole Miller has been out of the game for a while.
Yeah, but what about? Did you see all the transitions
Yeah.
of submissions
Yeah.
that didn't go all the way through? But still, I mean,
He was
yeah,
going
like
through
you
'em.
said, he was going through them. Yeah.
So next, Alex Caceres versus BJ Penn. Is that
Yes.
yes?
I'll sign off for that.
All right.
BJ versus Bruce Leroy.
I'm down. Actually, has a good ring to it. Has a good ring to it. Give Bruce Leroy BJ.
Whoa. Who are you telling
Yeah.
to do this?
What's up?
Joe Silva. Jessica Andrade up against Jessica Panay. This ended in a TKO in the second round with Jessica Andrade winning the Jessica name
Yeah.
and walking away with a victory. Benil Dariush up against James Vick. He gets a big KO.
Brutal.
In the first round. 4 minutes of the first round, but big brutal KO in the first round with Benil walking
Yeah.
away with a win. Brian Ortega also got a big win over Clay Guida.
Who started trying to fight the ref
Yeah.
when he was knocked unconscious.
Clay Guida just showing signs of age.
Yeah.
And ring worn, not even ring rust.
there
I mean,
was
he's been in some wars, though. I mean,
Yes,
you
he
think
has.
about it.
And then, like, people from his side automatically start, oh, it was a quick stoppage. Man, no.
He started fighting the
no,
ref.
I know. He didn't know
the
where
guy
he
walked
was
away
at.
and he started wrestling the ref.
Yeah.
So,
If you can't tell a guy that's in black pants, shoes, and a black button-up against the guy you were fighting that has tattoos and no shirt on,
Hey, when'd you get dressed?
How'd you get dressed so fast?
get that shit back off.
like
We're still
Superman,
fighting.
man. It's like Superman. Is there a phone booth around here? What happened? That finishes up your prelim card on Fox Sports 1. Jumping onto your main card, which was UFC 199. Dustin Poirier gets a big KO over Bobby Green. Lots of KOs on this card. This was
Oh,
not,
man, yeah.
not
Well,
decision fest
yeah,
at all.
but like again, I'd say Bobby Green had been out a long time.
Yeah, this was a tough fight for him to come back to.
Poirier's got a lot to prove.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Poirier pretty much undefeated except for one loss, right?
He did lose to Connor.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Henderson, Jesus, man, with Hector Lombard. Lombard, the prospect, just falling quickly from grace.
Is
so,
it
so not
me-
just one loss, but one loss out of his last several fights.
Yeah, he's down 4.
When he was in that hole, like he was holding him right, and did you see him like look to the side, and they were like, "Hey, Dan, you should use your elbow."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh yeah, my elbow."
That's right, I have those.
Standing elbow, head kick, elbow, and then the elbow once he got to the ground.
Ground.
Too.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Brutal.
Just Dan Henderson just will not go away, man.
And he says he's probably not retired. He has a fight in his mind.
That's right. This was the last fight on his contract.
That was the last fight in his contract, and we'll get to who he wants to fight when we get to the main event.
Sounds good to me. We also had Max Holloway, again, now 9 wins without a title shot, up against Ricardo Lamas with the decision. So he gets a title shot now, right?
I gotta believe. I mean, I don't know, though.
So how many wins did Conor have before he got a title shot?
4.
4. Holloway's got 9.
But he's not a hype train like Conor was.
What about Stephen Thompson? How many wins does he have? He hasn't got a title shot yet.
Oh, Max Holloway has the record.
Okay.
Most fights in a row without getting, most wins in a row without getting a title shot.
Did he take it away from, who was it at the time?
I can't recall.
He fought George St. Pierre.
Ben Askren.
No. He's a decision fighter, too. Oh, God, his name's fucking right on the tip of my tongue.
You're not talking about Dan Hardy, right?
Nope.
It's the tip of his tongue. Nuts.
Nuts.
D's?
These nuts.
These nuts.
I will find it quickly.
We're doing research.
Research.
John Fitch.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
John
That's right.
Fitch was undefeated for how long before he got a title shot against George St. Pierre?
Apparently 5 fights. No.
No.
How many in the UFC, though? So that's 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It is
8 before he got a title
So
shot.
so Max Holloway was apparently tied then.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I think the thing was he got 8 and then he got the title shot, whereas
Right.
Max Holloway had 8 wins and then still didn't get a title shot. So now he's got 9 wins and still hasn't been promised a title shot at all. So who do you think?
Yeah.
Who do you think you think he gets the title shot now?
I mean, he's right up there. Who else are you going to give him? I mean, you give him the winner. Obviously, they're saying Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar is going to get the title shot first.
And then just give Max Holloway the title shot after that.
Yeah, I would 100% be 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's time.
100%.
It's time.
Definitely time. Definitely time.
And then after Holloway, you had Dominic Cruz just dominating Uriah Faber.
Dominating Uriah Faber.
Just exposing that allergy to gold. Uriah Faber is like a leprechaun, man. Yeah, I want to be gold.
He never had his gold.
Never had the gold.
He had
Yeah,
WEC gold.
WEC, and then lost
People
that.
steal leprechauns gold. He never had it.
This is true. He just has an allergy to it. Then we'll stick with that. What do you guys think of that fight? Just like, okay, here's what somebody told me about this one.
I think it happened exactly like everybody thought it was going to happen.
Yep.
It's like you think that after however many fights Uriah Faber's had, which is a lot, that somebody would have eventually told him, "Hey, you don't ever check leg kicks."
Right.
I
Like,
want to know who the fuck put 49-45. What fight he watched?
he went to the bathroom during one round.
Or how about Uriah? No offense, bro, but Master Tong is not a trainer.
He just, dude, he
The
does.
Muay Thai guy that is always with them, that wears
Right.
the glasses, that the one time, I think twice I've gone to shows now, and he's dancing around in the cage because Uriah won.
Mm-hmm.
Like he thinks everybody's there for him. He wears sunglasses. He's like,
You got to train up, man. I think if you're not gonna quit, you got to find somebody who's going to push you better in these. It seems like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but his fight IQ doesn't change.
Right.
He goes in with the same fight plan all the time, and obviously,
and at one point though, he was doing things that were innovative.
yeah,
He was doing things that weren't being done in the cage, like where he was doing the push off the cage. He was doing the one knee where he jumped up and kneed the guy.
right,
You know what I mean?
and spinning shit.
And a lot of spinning shit that people weren't doing. He was mixing it up.
I got something innovative for him to try. It's called checking a leg kick, and then maybe, just maybe, he won't lose so much power, so much of his explosiveness if his legs aren't getting chopped off from underneath him.
Yeah, it was again like everybody thought,
Yeah, and then
except
of course,
for him.
Except for him, and then of course your main event, Michael Bisping,
Shocking the world.
shocks the world with a knockout over Luke Rockhold in the first round. That punch didn't even look hard.
Luke Rockhold got hit with a body shot and a punch with his hands down.
Yeah.
And he said later, he's like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been jabbing. I shouldn't have been putting my hands down. I should have given him more respect.
This is another belt that changes hands while people have their hands down.
Yeah. And then he gets clocked again. And, obviously he's TKO'd. He gets the fight is called off. Justifully so. I mean, it wasn't early stoppage. He was,
Bisping, first off,
it's
he's
his destiny
right. He's definitely
to hold this title for this fight.
for this fight.
And I can't talk shit because he's got the belt right now.
He got the belt,
You can still talk shit.
and he told
We talk shit about John
I
Jones
can't.
when he had the belt.
I'm not one of those people. You know what I mean? I'm not a Conor McGregor who got my ass beat and then is going to talk a bunch of shit about how well I had you till I got knocked out.
So I got knocked. I was winning till I lost.
Yeah.
So Bisping had one of the best quotes I think I've ever heard with Luke Rockhold when he told Luke Rockhold, "You drop your hands all the time." The left hand ready to come through. You can call me Left Hand Larry. It's like, damn, that's funny.
I think the in-ring quote was the best. Do you know where you are?
Do you know where you are right now? Do you know where you are? Which Rockhold is very upset about. They almost got into another fight during the post-fight press conference.
He almost got knocked out again?
Yeah. He says, he's like, at least when I beat him, I picked him up and said, hey, good fight. And that was it. Like,
When you got him with the lucky kick.
When we did all this trash talk, before the fight, after the fight, I was at least respectful enough to pick you up and say, a nice fight. He walks over to me and says, do you know where you are right now? Do you know where you are? He's all, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's be honest.
Champion. He's like, I will beat him.
When he got Bisping, it was with a lucky kick. When Bisping got him...
Lucky?
I'm just saying. It's nothing compared to the punch that he got knocked out with.
The question mark kick's pretty legit.
You don't think that Bisping's punch was lucky?
No. He was pretty on it, dude.
That punch didn't look like it would hurt anybody.
But
just like when we thought Anderson Silva got clocked by Weidman, that punch didn't look like it would hurt anybody.
Yeah, no,
it looked like when Forrest Griffin got knocked out by Anderson Silva. Everyone was like, he barely jabbed him
when he ran out of the ring.
Yeah, when he realized he got up, like he stumbled around the ring for a while. I was like, what the fuck did that just happen? I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go. That's embarrassing.
And his jaw was broken,
allegedly.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, congratulations, Michael Bisping. I was talking to one of my friends about this, and it's like, because Michael Bisping doesn't knock anybody out.
No,
it's like,
ever.
It's like he made a deal with somebody a long time ago to like pull back. Like, can we just take like 3% of my punching power per fight until I really need it in a title fight? And so he just got like
he was holding it.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
like it's the long con.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. This is Matchstick Man all over again, but with MMA.
He's like a Mega Man punch.
That's what it is. It's just his little power bar has been charging up for his entire UFC career because he made a deal when he signed on. Just hold
like
that.
Kaiser Soze just happened. Like
I'm just gonna put 3% of my punching power in this jar every fight. So not enough to knock anybody out, but to win by technical wins. And then I'm going to open that jar for this title fight and pour it all on me. And then I'm going to knock him out.
Do you think Luke Rockhold deserves a immediate title shot? Rematch?
No, give him Henderson.
So this is what's happening. Is obviously Chris Weidman called out Bisping. Luke Rockhold definitely wants a shot.
From a hospital bed, right?
Who, Weidman?
Weidman.
Yeah, because he's getting neck surgery.
Hey, let him. Hey, as soon as I get out of this bed.
As soon as he had the surgery, it was very successful. By the way,
very successful. Bisping says, as of right now, Luke Rockhold will not be my first defense. That's a fact. I had to go away and beat 3 more guys before I got a second shot at Luke. Certainly after his behavior on Saturday, he should have to go away and do the same. He wasn't even close. It's not like he beat me, and then I beat him. He's like, therefore, we can do it again. This fight was 2 years ago. Neither of us were champion. He became champion. Good for him. I just knocked him out in the first round. He's an incredible fighter. Has better technical skill than I do, but he's going to have to go away and do it the old-fashioned way like I had to.
I'm surprised that he actually said that Luke Rockhold has better skill than he does.
Right?
I mean...
said, who's next? He says, I'm not going to give you a name. There's someone I have my eye on. I do have a say in this because I'm the champion. So that's nice. I've never turned down...
which eye?
I've never turned down an opponent. I certainly don't intend to start as champion. We'll see what happens. There's plenty of viable contenders. Defending the title in the UK is certainly something I want to do. I've already made it clear to Dana White that I would love to do that. Who does he have his eye on? Rumors are Dan Henderson.
It's a terrible idea.
He wants a rematch against Dan Henderson to avenge his knockout loss
That's a
at
terrible
UFC
idea.
100 that just happened. That happened. Who do you see?
One of two things is going to happen if he fights.
At middleweight, you have Michael Bisping, current champion. Luke Rockhold now dropping down number 1. Chris Weidman dropping to 2. Jacare is number 3. Vitor Belfort's number 4. Anderson Silva's number 5. Dan Henderson's at 13.
Really?
You have Lyoto Machida, Robert Whittaker, Gegard Mousasi, Uriah Hall, Tim Kennedy, Derek Brunson, Talis Leites, all above Dan Henderson.
Jacare should get the next shot.
Jacare gets the next shot?
But he should get the next shot. But Henderson is probably. I mean, he got the win. It's
devastatingly.
It's a grudge match.
Yeah.
You know,
Money Fight says number 13, Dan Henderson.
Yeah, so it's either going to knock his eye straight or it's going to knock his other eye wonky, and he's going to be like wall-eyed.
Wonky.
Wow.
I'm just saying that's how I see it going. I think Jacare deserves it. I really do think.
I think Jacare deserves it as well.
But here's the shitty thing: is that if you're going to have Jacare
as your new champion,
if you're going to have him fight for the title, you really want him to fight in Brazil.
Yeah.
And there's no way Bisping's going to defend the title in Brazil.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know where they would do that at.
Do you think Michael Bisping holds the belt longer than one fight.
No.
He's
No.
just holding on to it.
I'm not saying anything.
He's a
but
placeholder.
I look like a total ass. I mean, we all do. Rockhold especially.
Nobody gave him a shot.
No,
other than
nobody.
himself and his son.
No,
one of them, not both of them.
One of his sons.
The son that bet against
And
him,
that's
does he
the
get kicked
favorite
out
son.
now?
And that's
Right?
the favorite son now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
If
yeah.
it already wasn't.
I'm pretty sure Callum was the favorite son.
Oh, yeah, he's getting everything in the
It's the
will.
oldest son.
Dad looks at him with a good eye.
Yeah, he's definitely taking the puppy away from the youngest son. So during this whole big event, we had some weird news happen.
Right.
And some weird things happen.
Yeah. The first thing was Ariel Helwani was cage side and reporting things. And he reported that coming up at UFC 202, we are going to get to see McGregor versus Diaz 2.
Right.
Right.
You guys excited for that?
I was more excited to see him slap Dana White.
That was pretty good.
That was
Right.
fun.
Gave him the Stockton slap. That was nice. And then he reported something that the UFC wanted to wait until like the middle of the event.
Is it one of those things where they were like, we're going to give you this info about Conor Diaz too, so you don't do this part? How is that happening?
Just say no.
Just say no. No. Declined.
Oh. And,
No, we're back.
We're back.
So yeah, so we have this information that Ariel reports, and he reports that Brock Lesnar is returning to fight at UFC 200. Mm-hmm. This is hours before the event. Now, there's a bunch of stories going around how this actually went down. Ariel's side is, I was sitting cage side, I'm reporting. I report from the news center or from the media center that this happens. I report that this happens. I'm sitting right before the main event, and somebody comes over to me and says, Dana White needs to talk to you in the back right now. And he goes, okay, but the main event's going to start, and I want to be here for the main event. I'm reporting right now for the main event. You go, okay. Within 2 minutes before the main event starts, another guy comes over and goes, no, Dana White needs to see you right now in the back. You need to be in the back right now. He goes, okay, well, I want to take my cameraman with me. If maybe he's got a story, and they're like, okay. Go to the back. Says Dana White is beat red. Goes back there and he says, that's it. You're done. Get out of here. You're too negative. Nobody likes you. Lorenzo Fertitta doesn't like you. He's the one who made the decision. You're done. You're never coming back. You're banned from reporting for the UFC. Go report Bellator. You're not allowed to come back. He says, I don't know what I've done. I don't know what's going on. Rumors are, and what he's being told is because he scooped the story for UFC 200 that Brock Lesnar was coming back.
Hey, I hate to tell everybody,
Before
we
the
tried
event.
to scoop this story, a week ago? 2 weeks ago on Reddit to where you got kicked off?
Yeah. Yeah. You got banned. Told I was a shit poster.
You're a shit poster.
So I'm not a poster of shit.
So, Ariel Helwani gets banned for life from reporting for the UFC. He works for MMA Fighting, which is, he's already been kicked off Fox, they said, for doing things. He says he was kicked off Fox because he reports on other shows and he stirs up too much controversy with UFC fighters about other shows. He goes, but I do that on my own show.
Right.
What am I supposed to do? Joe Rogan recently came out and said, look, the story that I heard was he was told, look, we want to make this big announcement at UFC 200. We think there's a mole somewhere in the company giving out information before we give it. We are a private company. We invite you to come here. You don't have to be here. We don't have to tell you anything. We're going to fire people if this gets reported beforehand because somebody's leaking this information. No, only like 5 people know this information. And we're going to fire all of them if this information gets leaked out. And he said, cool. So UFC 200 is going to be Brock Lesnar. And they're like, you just basically fucked over 5 people because you wanted to get the scoop first?
Yeah, but it could have been Paul Heyman that told him. Him and Paul Heyman are actually friends.
And that's the thing, is he says, look, there is no mole. There's no one single person that gives me information. I went to journalism school. I get multiple sources confirming information, and then I do it. And he says, it's not like I'm trying to get a Pulitzer here. I'm not exposing something that's corrupt or something that's going on. I'm reporting a fight that they're going to talk about in 10 minutes.
Right.
And, of course, as a journalist, I need people to come to my site. They're going to follow me for breaking news. Again, I'm not doing investigative reporting here. I'm just reporting things that are coming up. I don't understand what the problem is. I mean, how do you... Obviously, you worked in the media before. How do you feel?
How do I feel about it? I like to report stuff as soon as I can when I find out about it because at the same time, I need to get ratings. I got to get people to come to me. Us is doing this. If we get something, we want to try to get it out there as quickly as possible.
We
I
did.
understand
We tried to scoop this story.
Yeah, but I
and people
understand-
didn't believe us.
No, I know. It was horrible. Nobody believed us. so sad. But no, seriously, I understand what the UFC is like. They just took the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, and again, that's how Joe Rogan says. He goes, look, man, he goes, call me a company man if you want. He's like, but if the news is going to come out in like an hour, and we want it to be this big announcement, we want everybody to have the focus on the fighters and the event. And some asshole goes, hey, guess what? I got the first story. The focus goes to that guy, not the event.
Right.
Because they're looking now at that guy to say he's got the story. So when they make the big announcement, it's not as big. That's Rogan's sort of take on the whole thing. That's how he feels.
What's funny to me...
Which he understands. He's like, I get Ariel. He's like, I like Ariel. I want him to keep. He's all, the ban is stupid. I want him to come. You know what I mean?
It was crazy to see how this story went, because it was like, when Ariel posted it, a section of the internet went crazy.
Yeah.
When the promo came out, a bigger section of the internet went crazy. But it wasn't until like the next day or even Monday when the promo hit the internet that
Right.
like you saw the real ramifications of it. So like the real big reveal didn't happen
At the event.
as anybody wanted to either. You know what I
Right.
mean? It took a little while to get some legs, which is weird because UFC 199 was such a big event.
Yeah.
You would have figured everybody would have seen that, but that's just not the case.
So following up with that, now his ban has been lifted.
Like immediately, because the UFC couldn't talk about anything.
I mean, they were trying to promote UFC 200. Everyone's asking about Ariel. They're trying to promote Tough. Everyone's asking about Ariel. They're trying to promote any one of their social media, across Instagram, across Twitter, across anywhere, Facebook, everything. All it was free Ariel Helwani. What's going on with Ariel Helwani? I won't be able to watch it because Ariel Helwani's not reporting it. Like all kinds of just nonstop. They lifted the ban. They said they had to rethink their stance. It's just kind of going back and forth. It's still interesting. I don't think this is over. Ariel Helwani went on a bunch of big news sites. I mean, he was on the Dan Patrick Show. He was on Colin Cowherd. He was on a bunch of sites, and he's basically, journalists were getting behind him. And he says, I'm glad this is actually happening. I'm glad the fraternal order of journalists can band together, because he's all, this doesn't happen in other sports. This happens regularly in MMA.
Right.
And, they kind of look at us as like the sideshow reporters because we're only doing MMA and we're not doing football or basketball.
I got blacklisted from the UFC for a while when they had a different person in charge.
Yeah.
Because I had to go to my son's birthday party and I was going to be late for check-in. Blacklisted.
Right.
Yeah. Until that person got removed from their office and my blacklist got removed for whatever reason.
So it's he's saying, I'm like that the light is being shined on the UFC and a little bit in this sport, that these things happen, and maybe it'll get a little bit more legitimate as far as who can report and what can be reported. I don't know. It's really interesting. I want to see where it plays out.
Well, so far it's played out to where Ariel Helwani is back in. So
He's back in.
That's cool.
Going back further with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar now, as of what is it? I think Monday they reported this, right?
Yeah.
Monday, his opponent has been named, and it's going to be Super Samoan Mark Hunt.
Now, Brock Lesnar, he's got a one-off deal from the WWE to come and fight in the UFC. Then he has to go back and he has to compete at SummerSlam in August.
Yeah.
Risky move because of how he's been built.
Multiple money maker for both companies, though,
Of course. But he's built as this unstoppable force in WWE.
He's built as a legit athlete, as an actual competition athlete. He still walks out in his WWE gimmick in MMA fight shorts,
right,
with gloves, with sponsors still on it. Like and he even says, I'm a prize fighter. I'm going for the money. I'm not going for belts anymore. I'm going for the money. I know where I'm making money. That's what he's going to do. And he's carrying that over into the WWE. WWE wants Paige Van Zandt to come over for SummerSlam as like a trade deal.
Must be.
I guess it's just in talks. We don't know what's going to happen yet. They're just going to say she's going to be involved in some capacity, meaning she's shown on camera or she gets in the ring. Nobody knows.
Something with Dancing with the Stars.
Something dancing. She's going to have a dance-off?
She's going to dance off with one of the divas.
So further going into the Brock Lesnar story, this is the one that's got everybody up in arms.
Yeah.
Is that he is able to kind of sidestep the USADA testing that would have been mandatory for other fighters.
Right.
To a point. Now, let's break it down a little bit before everyone freaks the fuck out. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's not fair, he's going to be on steroids. That's not fair.
Well, no, he can't be on steroids, obviously.
What's happening is that normally when the UFC signs a fighter, they immediately, once they sign the dotted line, they immediately start going under the USADA testing. However, normally they're supposed to be given a 4-month window before they're given a fight.
Right.
The UFC has a clause in their contracts with USADA that they have overall say that if under extreme circumstances that let's see, I'm trying to remember what the exact word is here. I want to say, extreme circumstances and exceptional circumstances on which there is a strict application of that rule would be manifestly unfair to the athlete. They can say you don't have to wait the 4 months. So he's still getting tested. He started getting tested the minute he signed.
As of now, he's getting tested.
As of now. But anything before that he took is not going to be...
No, he can't be dirty.
Can't be dirty.
What they're saying is that he does not need...
He doesn't have to wait.
Well, you're right. He doesn't have to have the 4 months of pre-paperwork that would be needed if you were somebody else getting ready to fight.
Well, this is where the problem is. This is where like someone like Mark Hunt has the problem too. Is that we're not going to sit here and make accusations that he's on anything illicit.
Right.
However, he was not being held to the USADA restriction, so he could have potentially been on something that's legal
and cycled off.
But yeah, that's legal to all of us, but not legal to the USADA. And then he was talking to Dana White about fighting at 200 2 months ago, over 2 months.
But
ago.
he hadn't signed.
But he hadn't signed. So
and
he's
that's
had.
Where it is.
That's the thing, is that he's had 2 months to cycle off of whatever he may have
So
been
were they
on.
waiting to see if he would get the USADA exemption?
I don't think they had to wait on that because it says it's in the UFC's contract. Like, no, we can say this whenever we want.
Yeah, they have a custom tailor-made policy from the USADA. So also with this is that, like we were talking about before the show started, is that it's kind of funny that they have this exemption in there, but yet they were threatening Conor McGregor with, hey man, you want to retire? You're going to play that game with us? Cool. You can't fight for 4 months. You can't come back and fight UFC 200 or 201 because you're retired. When in reality,
they could have
just said, well, guess what? We need you for the money. So we have this. Don't worry, we have this catch clause.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to give in.
We have this catch clause that says you can fight anytime.
But they didn't want to give in to Conor.
No, of course not.
Has Conor said anything about that yet?
Nope.
Wonder why.
I wonder if anybody's going to bring it up to him.
Connect the dots for him?
Yep.
I don't know.
So,
crazy.
I mean, a lot of people are freaking out saying it's not fair that he's going to be on something or he has been on something.
He can't be on something.
But he can't be on something.
He can't be on something as of now.
Right.
Because he's already being tested.
So if they test him now and he's dirty, he's getting pulled. He's done.
It's out. The unfairness.
But he could have, like you said, cycled off.
Been cycling off for the last 2 months. Yeah.
2 months, and now officially signed now that he's clean.
Yeah, that's where the unfairness is where there could possibly be a slight advantage, whereas...
I still got Mark Hunt.
You still got Mark Hunt all day.
All day. Knockout.
If Brock comes in with a power double just from the get-go...
Knockout.
Still knockout?
Yep.
All right.
Going Mark Hunt.
So now we got... I think that's officially it for UFC 200?
UFC 200 is official with a stacked card. I don't know what they're going to do about Fight Pass. I don't know what they're going to do about Fox Sports 1.
Because you want to see all these fights.
I could see this whole thing being pay-per-view, and I would pay for it.
I want to pay by the hour.
Like, it's going to be insane. Your card is Jim Miller versus Takanori Gomi.
Mm-hmm.
Diego Sanchez against Joe Lauzon.
Mm-hmm.
Gegard Mousasi against Derek Brunson. Sage Northcutt, for some reason, against Enrique Marin.
Who, by the way, was in the news as to being a real shitty, spoiled baby when it comes to sparring.
Oh, no. His dad is the spoiled baby.
Oh, his dad is the spoiled baby.
His dad, we have that story too. His former sparring partner came out and said that his dad pulled him out of sparring because he felt he was going too hard on his kid.
Really?
And this is the second time this has happened. In
Yeah.
fact, the fight before, when he was going to fight Brian Barberina, his dad pulled him out of TriStar saying, you're overworking my kid. I'm going to take care of his training. They went to a local health club, made him lift and roll in a gym that had no MMA fighters. And that's, of course, why he lost to Brian Barberina.
Smart.
He
Dad.
is now back at TriStar, but still getting harassed. The dad is still harassing staff and sparring partners saying, you're being too hard on him.
Well, Sage, you know what you got to do. Fire your dad.
Fire your dad.
Beyonce did it.
Yep.
Look at Beyonce now.
Didn't have to fire him. Just don't take him into your fight camp.
Yeah. TJ Dillashaw against Rafael Assunção. Johnny Hendricks against Kevin Gastelum. Kat Zingano against Juliana Pena. Cain Velasquez against Travis Brown.
Maybe.
Jose Aldo against Frankie Edgar.
Maybe.
Misha Tate against Amanda Nunes.
That's going to happen.
Brock Lesnar against Mark Hunt.
Maybe.
Daniel.
I think that's why they activated Carwin.
Possible as a.
That's right. We didn't bring that up
activated-
today. Carwin has been activated on the
Carwin's
UFC
been activated
roster.
on the
also.
roster. And Daniel Cormier against John Jones.
It's exciting, man. July 9th, it's going down. Where's it happening at? Mandalay Bay?
Oh, no. This is happening at the brand new T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Nice.
Oh, they've been working on it. Right. It's
Specifically,
right-
like,
it's right there.
for
Yeah.
UFC 200. I still think,
I love it.
I'm going Mark Hunt. I don't know. Let's run down. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take John Jones, Mark Hunt, Misha Tate, Jose Aldo, Travis Brown, Kat Zingano, Hendricks, Dillashaw, Enrique Marin,
You're a dick.
Mousasi, Diego Sanchez. I'll go Jay Lau. And I'm going to take Jim Miller.
With you on a lot of those, man. With you on a lot of those. I don't know if I can take Hunt over Lesnar, but Lesnar's been gone for 5 years, man.
He's got lunchbox-sized fists, but he doesn't have concrete and stuff in his head like Mark Hunt.
Yeah, but Mark Hunt's been getting knocked out easier lately.
You know, I was talking to someone about Mark Hunt. He never looks like he's in shape, but and all the people he fights usually look like they're in shape. But he just
that's just how we
He's
look.
Samoan,
It's
man.
called
He's got
dad bod.
thicker bones.
I know. He
Bigger
just-
bone structure.
Right.
he just
That's
comes
what Boss
in and
Rutan said.
destroys.
Former K1. I mean, champion.
He's a beast. It's going to be an interesting matchup. This is your classic grappler versus
I
striker.
got to go Mark Hunt all day.
Yeah. So that's July 9th again. We'll obviously have a podcast before that happens.
We
but
have a couple podcasts to go before that.
it's awesome to look forward to.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Except for TEF 23.
Oh, that's right.
We'll let Dennis talk about it since he
Jesus,
watches.
I watched it too.
Well, I'm just
You
gonna tell
watched it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, Joanna can't get a break.
Dude, seriously, man.
They let this guy fly all the way back to his country or wherever he's from to squash whatever beef he had with his wife.
Because she found out he was cheating.
So then he comes all the way back.
So he goes home and he smashed
Wait, was
his
he
wife.
was he cheating on the show?
We don't know.
No, he wasn't cheating on the show.
No.
She found stuff like at home when he was gone.
Okay.
So she was going through the house while he
Work,
was
man.
gone.
I can't get to watch everything.
She found some panties.
It's
were they red? Were they
allegedly-
red panties?
Red pants.
Did somebody get paid?
It was red panty night. So yeah. So then he loses anyway.
Yeah, lost
Well,
anyways.
his head's not in
He
it.
got
man.
to go home and smash his wife, and then he got home, got back to the cage, and got smashed in the cage.
Yeah.
That's what I think is funny. Is like this guy flies all the way back to his country when his wife knows he's cheating. Somehow works it out to be able to bang it out with his wife before he flies back to the show.
Right.
She said you better win though, and he didn't. So she's probably cleaning all of his shit out right now.
It's
my
on
guess.
fire with all the other things in Brazil.
So I think the count's 7-0.
Is it 7-0 or 6-0?
7-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all good day, dude.
All good day.
This is
All good day.
The most one-sided tough in the history of tough.
Wow.
Insane. Well, thanks for listening. Of course, tell your
I
friends.
don't know. Tito versus Ken Shamrock. Remember? All of Tito's guys won except for one.
Except for one. Yeah.
So maybe she's got a chance.
You're
So you're saying there's a chance because there's one more fight, right? And that's it.
Yeah. Well, until
Well, in the opening bracket.
right.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Tell your friends, of course, Split Decision MMA Podcast. Give us a like on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, SD_MMA. You can, big thanks to our sponsors, StrongboardBalance.com and MyMMAnews.com. Go check both of them out. And anywhere podcasts and broadcasts is where you can find us.
And Walkie Craft. Check out Walkie Craft.
Why not?
on Etsy.
Hockey crap.
He's got some cool shit.
He does. He's got the MMA coin.
MMA coin.
Go
The man
check
coin.
The man coin.
Man card.
Go check that out. So I guess that's going to be it.
Yeah.
From the Rula Family Studios, it's Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.